working on this Stihl MS170 chainsaw. This is in pretty good shape. No broken plastics. Everything works, except no oil comes out. Let me start it and show you. And let's just verify we do have, I can see through the window here, make sure we actually have, and I didn't bring the little wrench. Let me get it pliers. Yeah, it's full to the top. So there is something clogged, broken, don't know. That's why it's full to the top, because it won't take any oil. It's supposed to come out that hole there, I believe. I'll clean all this junk out when we're in here too. As far as I know, on a Stihl, the oiler is underneath that. It has a pump mechanism that runs off the drive there. So let's get into that and see if something's stripped out or what's going on here. Or if we got a kinked hose or what. Okay, so we know we got a Stihl MS170 that's not oiling. I've already taken the bar off and everything, of course. Drained out the bar oil. And let's replace the entire oiling system. Oiling system consists of a worm gear assembly, an oil pump, an oil tube, and a strainer. Let's start with this. There's a clip that holds on this washer, which holds on the drum. Here's a needle bearing assembly. Now, to take this clutch off, they give you a hex here. You can get on that hex, or you could use the old-fashioned, probably the 3-jaw puller thing. But the thing is, as you do that, it's a reverse thread. So you're going to go the opposite way of a normal thread. So to get it on, it'd be reverse, and to get it off would be going this way. So you might be able to get it with an impact real quick, but really what you're probably going to have to do, you're going to have to get in here. The choke has to be all the way down for these covers to come off. You're going to get in there, you're going to take out your spark plug, and you're going to put in rope, clean cotton rope. And then when the engine turns, the piston comes up, it'll compress that rope, stop the rotation of the engine. There's also a piston stop tool you can use. If you dare, take the spark plug out, screw it in. It comes in contact with the top of the piston on purpose. Again, stopping the action. And then you can rotate your flywheel. This one, I've already cracked it loose just for the sake of the camera. This is the clutch assembly that flies out and engages. Make sure all your springs are good. You've got another washer, and here's your worm gear assembly. This is actually a gear that is contacting that gear that my screwdriver is touching right there. That's your oil pump. It goes up and down there. So, how do we get the oil pump out? Well, there's multiple ways of doing the same job. I've seen it done many different ways. You can take the entire handle assembly off. Basically, you have to get access here. I've even seen somebody on YouTube that wants to drill a hole in there, saying that that's not a structural part of the saw and it won't hurt a thing. Well, that's not true, because when this handle is put on, it holds the rubber hose in place. So how wouldn't it need that part of the handle? But I'm not going to take the whole handle off. There's a hack. So we'll just go ahead and take just this one off, and then we can move it out of the way enough to get at the piece we need to get at here. So we'll take that off, and there's no elegant way, there's no special tool. You have to fold that rubber grommet back behind. There is no $1,000 special tool from Stihl, believe it or not, at least that I know of, which you would think for something like this, no matter who does it, you look like a hack. But basically, you're pulling that rubber grommet through the hole. Now it's through. Now I'm going to move this. You can pull it this way or this way. It's not going to go far because you have other mounts still holding it. Let's just say we'll pull it that way. Now we'll take up our oil tube. That's the oil tube that handle holds in place. Pull this all out. Now here's the best part. It comes out, the filter comes out with the hose, so you don't have to try to fish it from the other side later, which is kind of cool. Not every chainsaw is that way. Let's talk about the part numbers that are going to be going in, because Stihl isn't real good about giving the consumer any information because you have to buy them through a dealer. Or you can buy them aftermarket, but they won't give you the part numbers either way. For my oil hose, for this model, this make, this year, 1130 647 9400. Oil pump, 1123 640 3200. And the worm gear, 1123 640 7102. That's what's going in this one. I don't see any reason to change the filter. This one is just as clean as can be. We're going to go ahead and swap that filter onto my new hose. Get rid of this stuff. Now it's over here where we're going. I'm just going to put this on the camera now. So you got like a squared off part. And here, it's round. And then squared off on the top. Those tangs go underneath the plastic. The plastic helps hold it a little bit. And also here. So once you push this in there, the plastic is going to be here. That's going to be inside the tank. This is going to be outside the tank. You want to make sure you get these little ears pushed under there so that never comes out. I'm going to try to sneak it under the handle just so I don't have to kink it all getting it in there. Let me get my pliers. I got small fingers, but they're not that small. No, they're not small fingers. And the way this goes, this hose should be facing down because it's going to go in the hole. That's where the pump is. The pump is right in there. Actually, I probably should pull that right now, but let's just get this part put in now that I've already started. Unscripted, folks, unscripted. We want to push it in there, but we do not want to poke a hole in it. Got my oil hose in there. Now, you'll know if you got it in there right because It won't push, it won't pull. Of course, we don't want to poke a hole in it either. But the thing facing down, which is the hose that goes down into that hole and attaches to the oil pump, should be facing down, and it should be exactly lined up. Not any shorter, not any longer. As far as the oil pump itself, here's the tooth of the oil pump that rotates. Okay, the bottom of that oil pump, I think it's got like a M5. If you were to thread, I think an N5 bolt in there, you can pull it. I think there's also a special tool from Stihl. It's basically just a puller. There's another way to get it just as well, and that is, being that we're not reusing ours, I don't mind if I get a snaggle tooth on that, a little burr on that tooth or something. I'm just going to pry up on it, maybe hit it a little bit. She's already moving. Most likely I can grab it from the bottom now. It should be sticking out. Trying to get the shot. I got it sticking out. Is it enough to grab, or do I need to hit it a little harder? It's enough to grab. There's your oil pump. And all your oil pump is little gear. That's the one the worm gear drives. Hole there, groove. And like I said, I think that's threaded in there. But anyway, we got a brand new one. Now, because it has a little hole there that's got to line up with something, if not, you'll get zero oil flow. They give you this keyway that you can see all the way to the bottom. And one of the actual smart things they did, if you look, give me a minute, right here, probably can't see it because the sun's washing it out, but there's a depiction of that same thing with the notch. My screwdriver's in that notch right now. That's not the hole it goes in. That is just there to depict where the notch goes. The notch goes on this saw towards the back. So when you put this in there, you face that notch to the back. Any other way, you're not going to get any oil flow at all. Get mine turned just a little bit. And then we just push it straight down until it stops. I'm going to get a screwdriver to make sure I'm all the way down. And that's literally it. Other than that, you're going to put your hose here into the hole for the pump. That's how it's going to be able to suction up its oil. Bar oil, chain oil, whatever you call it. Same kind of idea. You're just pushing that down in there. But the key on this one is, see right now that tab's sticking up a little bit? You've got to get that down there all the way far enough in there where that tab goes under the plastic. Otherwise, you will have leaks and you will question your life choices. And as I said, the handle sort of holds that also. People that cut that out, I think that's probably a bad idea. I don't know that it would come out. It should be under a suction only, but what if you had a hot day, your saw was expanding, there was pressurized oil? Could that blow off? Maybe it could if you didn't have the handle in the way there. So anyway, let's get this put back together. It's a matter of just, again, there's no elegant way to do this. These just have to be smushed and pushed down through. So we'll get it sort of lined up. I've really got to do this way. Got you in the shot? Yes, I do. You can push, you can pull. I'm trying to keep tension towards the camera right now on the handle. There, we're starting to get it. That's it. And then you put your little anti-vibration lock right there. Now to put it back together. Brand new worm drive. What this is, again, a gear. Got a little bushing there. Here's the part that drives that notch in your clutch. And actually, I have every reason to believe this one is malformed, because the Z, that's really disappointing if that's the case. Where's my old one? Here. No, maybe when it lines up, it just grabs it. Anyway, if you have it in there, that part there, I guess it will work. If I just maybe had it misaligned. I thought this was going to hit first. My bad. When you put it back together, there's a little line right here. That line is lined up with that notch, which is where your piece has to fit in. If you don't, this thing's going to be standing off and you won't be able to get the clip put back on. That's how you'll know. So this just goes in pretty much in any orientation. And now it'll drive that little gear from the pump. This says on it, top, stamped right in there. They assume you're probably going like this. Clutch. Backwards. Oh, I put my chain brake on while I was working on it, I guess. Backwards. Again, you choose whether you do it with an impact, whether you use a piston stop tool, whether you use rope in there. You do it. You do you. This would require some grease. Put a little grease on there. That's your bearing assemblies. Now I got to look where that little tab is. It's right over here. Line this up, this line. That should be it. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. I was right on the edge. And there we go. We got a fully rebuilt oiling system, Stihl MS170. I hereby declare that oiling system, once tested, Wildwood certified. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Got a little bonus footage here. So if it is oiling properly, oil will come out this slot. The hole is actually right there. So let's see what we got.